Good afternoon, the chairman, human rights defender and access to justice advocacy center, the legal department, able viewers. I am Precious Daniel. Today we have a case reported by Mr. David against the management of Food Headquarter. Please stay with us while we interview him. Thank you.
Case of what?
Salary seizure reported by Mr. David against Food Headquarter. Please stay with us while we interview him. Thank you.
Okay, let's hear from you. What is the issue?
Yes, I'm actually a baker. I'm David by name. So I am a baker working with the company, Food Health. So I started working with them. I've been working with them for like 4 months now. So one fateful morning, I was called on my way to work that my mom was actually rushed to the
You're
hospital.
writing your question like that.
So I called him immediately on my way that I won't be able to come to work. That look at what happened, and he told me no problem. So I went to the hospital. So I stayed there for 3 days and came back. So when I came, he came downstairs and told me that he knows I wanted to stop, and that even if he's going to pay salaries, he's going to withhold my whole salary and stuffs like that. I said no, that was what actually happened. And my friends, when I was still in the hospital, were still even calling me to ask about my mom's health, which I did, and he never called. So I came first to report, but I was not financially buoyant. So I said, okay, if I'm having a little cash, I'll actually come. So I waited to see if he was going to pay. So once he paid the salary, I was not paid. So I waited again to see uh, if he was still going to have a change of mind up to date. So which was why I came this afternoon to report the case. Because I've actually worked for the money and I've not been paid so far.
You said you worked there for how long?
For 4 months, 3, 4 months.
4 months.
Yes, 3, 4 months. My fourth month was when I had to stop.
And within these 4 months, you don't think there are any issues between you and the management of the company?
No, I don't really have any issue with the company. I don't really. But then I noticed when I started, we didn't have any agreement of he was going to pay on the 15th of next month. He told me it was monthly salary. So it was when I started, they were telling me, the man tell me anything about the payment of salary. I said, no, he didn't. They said, that he doesn't pay at the end of the month, he pays on the 15th of the next month. And they said the reason was because most staff doesn't like working with him because of his character. So that once he pays them ending of the month, most of them will have to stop. So when I noticed such, I confronted him that for me, I can't be collecting my money 15th of the next one because I have other things that I am actually owing. He said that he now told me the main reason why he was paying them on the 15th.
Of the
That it
next
was
month.
on the next one that because staffs will leave. So and I worked and I noticed I will have to be collecting IOU, 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 and at the end of the month, my salary will just be like change and be receiving. And he love it when people come to him for uh, loan. That, okay, sir, I don't have anything, I need to collect it. He gives so that the payment won't be too much on him when he wants to pay salary. And that was not really helping me for someone who wants to succeed in life.
According to you, you said you confronted him.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think you confronting him does not make good your chances than when you proactively look for better time, better way to approach him
Yeah,
than you confronting him?
yeah,
I hope you
I
understand.
yes, sir. I actually did, but it was not the day they told me. It was when the month ended. I had to wait till the month ended to be sure. So I waited till on the 5th. I saw a link
Fifth of the next
of the
month.
next month. I saw nothing was done about it. So I had to go to him. So he told me he was going to pay on the 7th. That I shouldn't worry. That I was going to pay on the 7th.
Now I want you to understand the question. Confronting him and going to him are two different things.
Yes.
Sure you understand.
That was,
When you confront him, the end result of you confronting him is not going to be the same as approaching him.
yes.
I hope you understand.
That
So what I'm trying to say is when you confront him, what was his response or what was his reaction?
yeah, his reaction.
Briefly.
Okay, his reaction was that he told me the reason why he pays 15 of the next month, and told me that most companies they have their own day time of payment, but for him he was actually going to make it on the 7th Then I told him if it's going to be on the 7th, it is okay for me, but I can still endure till 7. But that month he didn't pay that 7. He paid on the 21st. And later he told me that the reason was because it was the bank issue, the problem and all that, which we all accepted. And he paid on the 21 of which is the new month again that we're into. So he started going that way.
Before you take up the employment from that company, didn't you take the time to
Can you speak up so that your voice can?
didn't you take the time to find out one or two things, valid things about the company?
Yeah, I wasn't given any appointment letter
Didn't you take the time to get any valid information about
about
the
the
company that
company
can help you
before.
before you take up employment from the company?
No, I didn't.
Expectedly, if you are going to be employed from a company, you are expected to do a research about the company, about the MDs, the management of the company. So as a staff, from your own angle, you are expected to have detailed information about the company, which you didn't do, and it didn't turn out well for you.
Yeah, the reason was because I was on a job hunting. I stayed at Ikorodu. So that day I just came to Ikeja to submit CV. So I was not having the mind of a particular place I was going to. I was just doing job hunting. So fortunately for me, that was the first place I entered. And they were actually looking for a baker because they had none. The bakery aspect was actually crumbling. So it was the food they were basically into. So when I came, we got it that he told me the amount and I told him this is what I want. He said, okay, that once he sees my capability, that I shouldn't worry about the food. He said, no problem. So he wanted me to start that day, which I told him, no, that I need to go home and then prepare myself. So I started the next day. So I didn't have the time to really study more about the company because then I was actually in their need of job. So immediately the opportunity came and said it was a monthly thing, I had to take up the job.
Job hunting not too good, it doesn't really give your chances. What do you want from this human right?
So
What do you want?
yeah,
What lessons of coming here?
my if he can actually play me the one I have worked for.
Which one have you worked for?
I've worked the month of September. I
Just
worked
1 month.
no the I've been working. So the month of September I worked that one. Then the next month, which was October, was when I stopped. So the one of even if it's not going to be the one of October, no problem. But the one which I worked for because I know I actually put in more effort.
Are you aware that Are you aware that before you leave the service of the company, you're supposed to give the government a day of notice?
Yeah, if I was actually given an appointment
If you're
because
given an appointment,
yes,
he didn't give you an appointment.
the day the HR came, that was on my off day, so I was not officially given an appointment.
Officially, and when you came back, when you resumed, you're supposed to go and meet the HR.
Yeah, no, the HR doesn't stay there; he comes. So it was even the man that told me that the HR came. So that the appointment letter, the HR took it back because I was not present.
And
Mainly because we are not present.
Yeah, that was my off day.
that was your off day.
That was-
And ever since then, you didn't attempt from their own angle, you didn't attempt to give you
You know, he said when he comes. That was the only thing he.
when he comes. How long is when he comes?
He didn't even give me a specific day. He just said when he comes. So the day he told me he was coming, I waited. I didn't see him. So he said I shouldn't worry.
How-
That was even when he told me that my salary has been increased. I didn't even see it with him. Yes, that was when he told me that from the appointment letter that my salary had. So I didn't go through whatever.
Control your hands.
Sorry,
The demonstration
I
was
didn't
not
go through the terms and conditions of that was on there.
And I hope you know how valid your employment document is. Either to discredit to the company or if you want to do anything outside. That document in question is very, very valid for you.
Yes.
Ezekiel Magdalene, good afternoon, ma.
So how do you know? What do you know about your document?
How are you doing?
Validity of that document.
Yeah, that's an appointment letter shows that I
What
am.
does it show?
It actually shows that I'm a this is a bona fide staff of the organization which I am working for. But most companies, before giving an appointment letter, you have to see if this person we can because I was on a probation for a month to see if this person before we can then issue that this person is now one of our staff.
All right. According to you, statutorily or bona fide, let me use your words, like bona fide staff. The fact that you are not giving the document, that valid document, what do you think it take from you? I can see you're smiling. Can you interpret that? Does it make you, let me put it to you now,
A
I
bona
put
fide.
it to you now, does it make you a bona fide staff of that company?
Yeah, because I was not given money.
So, do you know that the company in question can take advantage of that because you didn't have that problem and ignorance of the law is not mistake on your part. I'm only trying to.
I understand.
You know that the company can take advantage of that ignorance of your part.
Yes.
Back to my question, what do you want from this office? A review of the errors in the ground. That does not stop us when we do the necessary things we are going to do. Let me hear from
The thing I actually wanted to let go of the money, but the reason why I needed to collect that money is he does that intentionally. He knows people will not want once it is on the 15th. I know m- many people who once they work they wouldn't get their money. And even if you try to say, okay, I am writing a resignation letter to resign, and he knows that you are one of the best staff, he will still make sure he finds something like that money you want to collect will not be, because I've seen cases whereby it happened there. So that's why for those that want to write an, we will even be scared to write an application letter, because once you write an application letter, something might just get missing. You say yes, you are actually the one who took it. You are the one, just for you to get frustrated and just let go of everything.
and that is to say, if he does that intentionally, he has a history of many people who staffs to whom he must have treated that way.
Many of us.
I assume from your statements.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
so how can you describe your boss
Uh,
in the light of this current behavior?
yeah. For one, he doesn't appreciate staffs. For me, he doesn't appreciate staff. Even when you are doing your best, he is still not appreciating it. And he wants people to, we don't have break, so he wants people to walk around the clock. He doesn't want anyone, maybe you're done with all your pastries, okay, let me just relax for like 10 minutes. He doesn't want it. Even if you're done with everything, he prefers you going outside to start cleaning the dirt, washing the gutter, so just for someone to keep working. And for the way he scored staff too doesn't actually make sense. It kills the spirit and morale of people who are actually working with them. Maybe, for example, I did something wrong and you want to talk to me. If somebody can come me up in the office and tell me, I will know, yeah, yes, I actually made a mistake. But you want to do it in a way that people around will want to know. And even if you need an assistance from him, you do it publicly. People will have to know that, yes, you need an IOU. He might tell you, okay, go to that place, write to IOU, tell them to call me, and it becomes a public thing. He's nice, but he's actually in combination with the wife. They have a job.
When you say somebody is nice, what do you mean?
So to me, where we see him being nice is when it comes to the IU, maybe we need IU. He freely, willingly, he will give that willingly. But once something comes up, like we resume by 6, we close by 6. But at times, other comes that I leave there by 10.
It's a family business.
Yes, it's a family business. So we leave there by 10. And if the next day you fail to come like in 1 minute late, it becomes a problem. But you will not reason that this person that was supposed to leave 6 o'clock left 10 o'clock. He doesn't want to know nothing about that. He doesn't want to know. So I really need the money because I know what I've actually put in that oven. I know how the bakery was when I got there. I didn't mean the bakery was booming, that's a different case. So I've actually done my best to make sure the bakery now stands.
How long has that been operating?
I think for 3 years now, but the baker there left, according to what I heard. So the guy, due to this delay of salary and all that, so he left.
Generally, how do you assess the staff?
The staffs are hardworking. They are very hardworking.
These are based the company.
So,
These are based the company.
yes,
How do you assess the staff? These are based the company.
yeah, the staffs are, will I say, uh, honest when it comes to their duties. They are very hardworking, and it's just so sad that we are not being treated well. Even the food we eat. is nothing to write home about. It's just we are like being treated like slaves. And most of the pastries we do, we can't test. We don't have the right to test any. We can only test the dough while still in the mixer, and that is not good to our head because it hasn't gone through any baking process. So we are still, I think we are taking the raw ingredients and the food, nothing to write, and the money too comes in late. So and for that reason, we have to borrow. Many of those staff will have to borrow. So when the money pay, they have to start paying debt, and at the end of the month, they will now start calling, I need money for this. So it doesn't really. So they are the one making the money because
And that is to say, at the end of the day, the staff morale is very,
it
very
goes
low.
down and many leaves. If you go there now, you see new faces. If you go there next tomorrow, you are seeing new faces. So they come and go, they come and go. So they don't have a staff that can stay there for a year. They don't. They don't. It's either a month, 2 months, some a day. Once they come, they work and see the reaction, they leave. So they don't have this.
My question is,
Speak up.
my question is, are you still working there or you have stopped work?
I stopped working there when he told me I don't have access to IOU for the money I've worked for. Because he said he knew I wanted to stop. So for that reason, he was going to delay my salary for no reason.
Say the new year.
And he knew I was going to, just because I went to visit my mom in the hospital for 3 days. And I told him about it, which he knew. So because I was the one heading the baking department.
Okay, please, since you have stopped, have you tried approaching him or going back there to ask for your salary?
Yes, I have. The day I went to request for an IOU, based on the fact that they needed the money in the hospital, I went and explained to him. He told me he was not going to give me any money, and which is money I've worked for. The month has ended. We are now in a new month. That even if I'm entitled, they can only give me 1,000 naira. That was what he told me. That he can't give me that if I know I want to collect my money, then I have to work with him again for a month again before my money can be paid. And I told him I was not given an appointment letter. So if I was given an appointment letter, I will know that yes, it is an official appointment that I was given. But I was not given. I'm just like a casual staff. And the day the appointment was being brought, I was not um, available.
The did you tell any person or co-staff that you have to leave? Because based on your statement, it's like you pre-planned to leave and you got to leave. Did you inform any of your co-staff that you're badly?
No, I didn't tell anybody that was.
So how
My
did they
plan was to leave December. That was my plan to leave.
no, you stated something. I believe you're the one that wrote this.
But I did.
Okay, you said, and I want, you said because I called my boss telling him what happened and I went on what, getting back, they told me he was not going to pay my salary because he knows I was going to stop.
Yes.
What does this statement signify?
Yeah, it's a kind of person, if he doesn't see you for a day or two, he assumes that that is it's either you've gone for an interview. He doesn't believe, even when I told him my mom was sick, that most staffs were even when I was still in the hospital, they were calling me. He didn't believe.
You are the major baker there.
Yeah, I am the major baker, but I have two assistants that have actually taught on how to.
And you were absent for 3 days.
Yes.
With his permission,
Yes.
that is, was it written
No, I called him on phone. We
that you were
spoke
going
on
to be
phone.
absent for 3 days?
Yes, I told him what actually happened, that my mom was rushed to the hospital. And I explained everything to him. He said, look, I said, I was even on my way to the office with the other baker. So it was even the other baker that explained to him what actually, that he was there when the call came. It was the guy was there when the call came. So I left.
Okay, we are still going to call this person. But from the look of things, from your explanation, just like you said, appointment letter was not given to you.
Yes.
Then it's as good as you also doing a voluntary work. But there must be something that hangs both of you, the company or the individual and whoever, that is the employer and the employee. You put out an application, and while you are still waiting, say you're on probation for 1 month. So you actually know that you are being probated for 1 month. After one month, if you are not desperate to get the work, if you are being probated for 1 month, after your probation, if they confirm that you have been employed, appointment letter should be given to you.
Yes.
When they don't give you appointment letter, meaning you are still on probation, you can stop anytime, and they will also believe that you are not their staff. It's your word against their words. And it's the reason why, if you are working and you are very sure that yes, I've gotten a job, you tender your application letter. Okay, for the period of 3 months you are going to be on probation. Now you are going to be on probation doesn't mean you should resign at will or excuse from duty at will. You are in a process. So if you treat your employer as if the person means nothing to you, the person can equally treat you as if there's nothing bound both of you. Because if you can wake up from your bed and put up, I'm not coming today, my mother is not feeling fine, that is your personal issue. That have nothing to do with the company or the organization or where you are being employed. If for whatever reason your employer gives you that grace, or the okay, as a consideration, as a human being, there's no problem, I can excuse you. In a Western world, you don't do that. You must find solution to your problem. Your mom is not feeling fine. Not in Africa. What do you want me to do? I've told you my mother is not feeling fine, and you expect me to come to work. Either you've resigned yourself, you forfeit whatever that is there, or you find an alternative or somebody that will take care of your mom in the hospital while you officially go to your work and ask for a day leave, 2 days leave, or 3 days leave, or leave without payment or whatever. Because you have the mindset, oh, these people are working, they are complaining. Yes, even this place, if we are to pay you, your salary must extend to the next month. Depends on your performance. Because these days, applicants are not ready to work. Some will just be looking for a month where they will gather 1 month salary and transportation, giving the hope, yes, you have gotten a worker or an applicant or staff. Whereas there are other people that are still looking for an avenue or place to work, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Probably they want to gather the money and make use of it for their school fees or to further their education. Then trickishly, some will come in to work for a month. If it's a month contract, go into contract with whomever you are working with. I want to work for the period of 1 month. I want to work for the period of 3 months. It's a contract, and you must not be given, even if you are being given appointment letter for 1 month, let it be the 1 month. If you are given appointment for 3 months, let it be 3 months. A month before then, you put up your notice. So when you wake up from your bed, which is what so many people, applicants, are doing, and I believe that is the reason, I've not heard from the person, I believe that is the reason why he or she is doing that. Because if you walk into another month for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, would you want to leave the salary? No, you'd want to wait and be paid. So it's advisable you call a spade a spade. Being a job prostitute is even the worst, because if you work here, maybe you went there for an interview and you be asked, how long have you worked in a place? Say you are working Mr. Big 1 month, I work in Tasty Fried Chicken 3 months, I work in KFC 1 month, I work in this 3 months. That is not a good profile for anybody. If you, in fact, if I have you as an applicant, I will not employ you. How will I how will I define job prostitute? Because you can't station in the place and work and gather an experience. They list somebody where you should work at least nothing less than a year or two, at least, before you think of, okay, you need your salary You need the remuneration high, or you need a better experience, maybe from a little setup to a higher place where you feel you can gather more experience or more idea. Your reasons should be genuine. You can't go to a place where they have 15 staffs. You want to join the group. No, you should create a best setter. Be on your own. The reason why Mr. A's salary is being delayed or not being paid shouldn't be your concern. Mind your business, work can be paid for your work. So if you leave 3 weeks, 3 days for your personal reasons, you did not work there, you did not bake, the same person can come up. Your absence for 3 days makes him to lose social amount of money. Even if you have assistance, at least you are employed as the head of bakers. And your absence, you don't know what he or she have lost. So when there is no concrete agreement, no serious whatever binding you and your employer, it is very difficult when issue like this come, because you can be denied anytime. Do you have their ID card as a staff?
None of the staff.
Eh?
None of the staff.
Somebody said, did you know I went to church on Sunday? On Monday, my contract was terminated. No, I don't even understand that. When you work on Sunday, I don't know. Depends on your agreement. So don't just feel because you were not given appointment letters. You should. That is your right. That is your ground. That is the only way you can claim all this. Go and give me phone. Let's put call across this person. That is the only ground that you can claim to be the staff of the place. If you are not staff, you have no ID card, you have no appointment letter, you say you work there for 1 month. I don't know what he's talking about. If you are the staff, what is the proof? We will deal on evidence and documentation. If you are my staff, what is the proof that you are a staff of this company? Do you have my ID card? You say no. Do you have appointment letter? You say no. Then you are as good as you are not a staff. The same way you left the place for 3 days and you feel you can do that comfortably because you are not given appointment letter. No. Anything can come easily comes up. And aside that, salary can easily be delayed based on the income. If the flow of the income is not steady, there is possibility that the delay in staff salary. You wouldn't know. You are not into business. You are a work you work there. They should be in better position to tell you how they run their business. It's possible you pay. Do you know how the supply comes in, the source of their supply, the things the items they use, the floors and all that they use? Do you know if they are supplying them on credit? Do you know if they are supplying them on right source? Do you know if they are supplying them from retail shop or from wholesaler shop? Do you know if they have a contract? Someone can have a contract of you supplying 500 cakes, but who gave the contract to your boss have more than 70% of the money. So you don't judge that. You must be in business before you argue. What is the name of the person?
Arrangement.
Okay, Amy will send you my number. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Send an invitation letter to the man. Let's development. So you'll be back in a moment.